Well, hello there, folks, and I hope that I find you very well indeed. And thanks for popping over just to check out this week's wee recipe video. And it's jam shortbread sandwich, and it's just amazing. This is really popular, made with marmalade, but we all know how I feel about marmalade. So I am using strawberry jam today. It's really, really easy to make. It melts in the mouth, and as usual, I'll put all ingredients on the screen as I use them, but you'll also find them in the description box underneath the video. So I'm using unsalted butter, strawberry jam, plain flour, vanilla extract, caster sugar, ground almonds, and cornflour. And this is the jam that I'm using here. Like I said, you can use marmalade, raspberry jam, strawberry jam, whatever you like. This is the tin that I used here. This is a 20cm square tin, which I've just buttered and then lined. So into a large bowl, you want to put your butter. This is soft, unsalted butter. To this, I'm going to add my caster sugar. This is just very fine granulated sugar. And then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla extract as well. And with an electric mixer, you just want to beat this until it goes lovely and creamy, and it will go much more paler than this. It'll go from yellow to almost a white, just like this. So it should be looking something like this. Now to this we're going to add the dry ingredients. So this is my plain flour or all-purpose flour. You just want to run this through a sieve. It's just going to make it so much lighter and more melt in the mouth. And then the cornflour. And then you can just mix in the ground almonds. You don't need to sieve these or that would be a nightmare. So grab your spatula and you want to start mixing this together until you can't mix it anymore and it becomes quite difficult. You can do this entirely by hand, but I don't want to warm up the mixture too much. So I like to start with a spoon or a spatula just to get it to a nice breadcrumb consistency. And then I go in with my hands just at the end to bring it into a nice smooth ball. Just like this. It doesn't take you much time at all. So you should be left with something that looks like this. So just give it a wee spin around in your hand to bring it into a ball. We're going to split this mixture in two because we're going to do a base layer and a top layer. So just weigh your mixture and then just divide this into two, and you want to just press your bottom layer into the tin. You can either roll it out like I'm doing here, or you can just press it in wee bits. It's entirely up to you. I just find it quicker doing it this way. So just make sure it's nice and flat all the way around using the flat of your hand. And once it's nice and flat, you can go in with your layer of jam. Like I said, use whatever jam you prefer. I have heard marmalade is very nice, you know, if you do like marmalade. I have cut out a 20cm piece of paper. And I'm just going to use this as a guide. You just trim this and patch it up, you know, just to get a nice square. And again, this is just going to make it easier to lay on the top of your jam instead of trying to press it into the jam, which might get a wee bit messy. So just make this as square as you can. I mean, it really doesn't matter because we are going to go around the edge, you know, and press it down anyway. So it doesn't need to be perfect. You can patch this up as much as you want to, because when it goes into the oven and collapses and rises, you know, it's going to turn out much smoother anyway. Prick the top with a fork, and then you just want to pop this into the middle of your oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, just until it's slightly golden on the top and starting to brown around the edge, just like this one here. You don't want too much colour on this because you don't want it to dry out. While it's still warm, pop some more caster sugar on the top. Give your tin a wee bit of a shake, and that's just going to even out the sugar on the top. And let this cool almost completely in the tin, and it will hold its shape wonderfully. Once it's almost chilled or cool or room temperature, you can lift it out of your tin. Just peel back the paper and you can see how easy this is here. I've just transferred this to a board just to make it easier to cut and to make sure there's no wee bits of paper underneath that might get stuck in the shortbread. And doesn't it look wonderful? And it smells lovely as well. Now all you have to do is cut this into whatever size squares you like. Just use a nice long knife and you'll get nice long slices. So I cut mine into 9 squares, and this will give you nice hefty chunky squares, which we love. Now this is lovely eating it on its own with a cup of tea or coffee, but you could of course have this with custard or something. This would be beautiful with custard, and you can see in the middle there how that jam has stayed nice and runny. You know, it's not dry at all, and that shortbread, like I said, it's just melt in the mouth. Because you've sieved everything and you've also added the cornflour, it just gives it such a lovely texture. So do let me know if you're planning on giving that one a go, and thanks for watching, and thank you to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page and to the channel members here on YouTube as well, for you all for leaving your lovely comments, and for those that share the videos, and those that have bought me a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link. And I will be back during the week with another wee video back here on What's for Tea. So until you choose to join me again, have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week, and I'll catch you off as soon back here on What's for Tea. Bye now.